Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on Digital Transformation Season 2. We talked about how we can utilize digital transformation and prioritize their use cases. The next one was how can the organization reinvent themselves. That was the last episode. In this episode, let's move ahead with an example of digital transformation in FMCG industry. When we talk about FMCG, how can we not talk about one of the biggest conglomerate, Unilever? A little bit of a background of Unilever, a British multinational, one of the largest consumer goods organization in the world, over 400 household brands, operates in greater than 190 countries globally, has almost 150,000 employees working for it globally. It touches around 2.5 billion people across the globe on a daily basis, a huge number. And turnover of Unilever as of 2020 was Euro 51 billion, a huge organization. And in such organization, there will be so many use cases where digital can have an impact. Let's go through few of them. What Unilever did in order to move ahead with data that they have, that so many of their consumers, billions of consumers churn out data for them day in, day out. So they set up 21 data centers, what they call as people data center around the globe. They used Google Analytics platform for the same. This data helps Unilever make localized marketing decision. So it is not a one size fits all sort of a thing. If they have some marketing decision to be taken, not only at a country level, probably at a state level, let's say in India or any other country, they are able to take that using such data centers that they have. In fact, one of the good example here is Ben & Jerry's, their ice cream brand. A new cereal flavored ice cream was launched because of the data insights coming in out of these data centers. Another example, in Latin America, Sunsilk partnered with an online influencer to co-create products for curly hair. That is the power of data that Unilever is getting into. The next example is about toothpaste product R&D that they went into. So when they look at toothpaste product, there are a lot of genome array based study that they get into. Some part of the study is done in-house. For some other part, they get data from outside. Now, in this case, they wanted to look at improving their overall analytical and computational capability, because when they have to talk about so many customers and so much of genome data, the overall technology was not able to take care of their goals and their needs. That's wherein they took one partner with them, made a scalable solution which was cloud based and data driven, which will help them scale up. They had in this parallel computing abilities so that they are not found wanting on the computing capabilities during this research and development. So this way, the results that they got was, in this kind of an R&D, a toothpaste genome product based R&D, they enabled digital transformation. Their productivity increased many folds. It boosted innovation in that sort of a business. So a lot of insights that they got and results that they got of this. The next example of Unilever is about what they call as HR 4.0. We have heard about Industry 4.0. Now here it is HR 4.0. Basically, HR 4.0 is there to help all that platform of Industry 4.0. When we are looking at so many technologies, if HR is not able to keep up with the pace of those changes in technology and people working on those technology, it might be found wanting. So what they did was also to look at where are those use cases that they can improve. What their research indicated is employees spent a lot of time in navigating through internal portals and steps in order to do work, and in some of these cases they found that employee wasted 1 day out of their 5-day week on such mundane activities. So effectively 20% loss of productivity. This was one of the use case that they took up in order to optimize the administration and other such internal processes that HR had. They had created an integrated single point entry for employee to access all such things. They customized it based on the employee profile as well. There were complex queries that the users would have. They made a digital AI interface, that is a chatbot, where all those rudimentary queries could be answered through what is called as natural language conversation. So people who know about AI arena would know about this. NLP is one of the bigger use case within AI. What was the result? Over 1 million interaction of these users, their internal users, which happened, an estimated 300,000 hours freed up for employees to do other productive work. Indeed a case of HR 4.0 with such transformation. Then next use case that they had was prescriptive analytics. We talked about data and its insights earlier. We'll talk about some further prescriptive analytics that they took in order to use them in business decisions. So if you look at it in terms of the overall value chain, taking in the latest demand, looking at the plant capacity, what is my output of each and every machine, how much is the labor available, inventory that I have, are there any constraint to pre-build in terms of shelf life, etc. If we take so many such constraints, what happens is, in order to get an optimal output of what should I produce, where should I produce, where should I hold the inventory for them, it becomes a very complex question to answer. What Unilever did was used one of the service provider, RiverLogic in this case. They got a visual modeler based optimization model for this specific business, which was their spreads division. The scale of the problem, if you look at it, was huge. 1 million equations with approximately 1 million variable for each equation. So if you multiply 1 million into 1 million, that's the size of the overall problem that this model had to solve. It included all the various parameters of demand, labor, where to store the inventory, where to build them in which factory or which assembly line, everything was there. And finally, the output, the results were definitely encouraging. This division, the spreads division, used to do this humongous planning once in a year, once in 12 months. They moved from once in 12 months to once in a month, 12 times the improvement. And every month they did a rolling 12-month plan. A great change from what they were earlier using digital technologies. They also reduced the time it took them to do this optimization, this planning process. Earlier it would take them a couple of months or maybe even more for iterations. Now, within a matter of couple of days, everything was done, and hence they could do it so many times. And in order to analyze this, why it was there, how is the result is the way it is, they gave the users drill down on dashboards. That was the Power BI dashboards in Microsoft offering. So this way, the analyst, which used to take a lot of time to do the work, their time also started coming down. And what used to be done by a huge number of analysts, there as well, the number of headcount reduced. They were allowed to do different work rather than only this work. So this is how, another use case of Unilever taking improvements using digital transformation. Another example I'll talk about, digital twin. We have heard about, digital twin. What exactly it is? It is that if I have a physical machine, if I replicate the same in a software or a digital way, how can it help? Using IoT sensors, etc., Unilever has set up 8 such digital twins across their various regions. It is not only in one single region. Across the globe, 8 such digital twins. And, successes are many. Couple of them I can cite here. In one of these cases, they switched the control of moisture level in soap making machine from being driven manually by operators to this digital twin algorithm. And now the operators are so happy that they want it to be there with the digital twin, because the output and the quality of the product is far better than earlier at a lower human inputs. And this is one way that it can be looked at. The other example was also, the last example I'll put in here is about the landscape rationalization. Earlier they had 200 plus ERP systems. Now they have got it to 4 different platforms for 4 different regions of the globe, and that way they have rationalized, and it helps them in churning out data rather than it being in silos. There are so many other use cases that we can talk about. For this time, only this much. I hope you have understood how digital transformation can touch base across the organization, in this case Unilever in the FMCG arena. In the next episode, we will talk about another big conglomerate in automotive industry, how they have utilized digital transformation across their group and avail those benefits. Do like, share and subscribe this episode. If you have any questions, put that in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you for